Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. We are looking at the AAA right direction. I am Kashif Kamran for September 22 exam, and currently the focus is on the tip number 6. Attack flagged risk in priority. Now we know in the first question when the examiner is asking for audit risk or risk of material misstatements, and you need to ensure that there is a term known as evaluate the significant risk. In all that context, attacking the flagged risk is very important. Now, when you are reading the case study in the first question, there might be some situations where the examiner is telling you a lot more. For example, there is a situation of a government grant and the examiner is telling you this much amount of grant was taken, these are the conditions of the grant, and this is how the grant is recognized. Now, see, the examiner is developing a story around a government grant. For example, the examiner is telling you that the customer gives 20% in advance, and then the examiner is telling you that this is the revenue recognition policy of the company, etc. Wherever you believe examiner is trying to develop a situation, trying to tell you some extra information about an accounting area or an accounting treatment or about something in the case study, that is an area which becomes flagged, prioritize. That is an area which becomes critical. You need to watch for such areas. You normally see the financial statements in question number 1, and with the financial statement, see examiner add the note number 1, 2, 3. And for every note number, the examiner explain what the note number is. Now, those becomes flagged risk, important risk. So in the case study, when you're reading the case study top down, including the financial statements, you will come across situations where you believe the examiner is trying to develop a point in a greater detail, or examiner is trying to tell you something about impairment or something about revaluation or something about an investment property or something about an research and development cost, but in a greater detail. That automatically means that this is a risk the examiner wants the attention to be drawn on. Now, in a certain cases, the examiner just write one sentence and goes ahead. Now, even that one sentence could be a risk, but again, that's not a risk where the examiner perhaps is trying to draw an attention, but you can prioritize that risk a bit later in your answer. But there are certain risks on which the examiner writes a whole paragraph, 3 to 4 lines, 3 to 4 sentences, 2 to 3 sentences. Now, that's where the examiner is trying to develop a risk for you and for your attention. And on a certain time, the examiner just write one sentence and move on. Now, that one sentence could be a risk. We're not denying that, but should come down in your prioritizations of risk and exam paper. So attacking the flagged risk, attacking the more important risk, attacking the risk where the examiner has covered more content, given you more content, given you more commentary, that's where things would be more critical for you in exam paper. And I've covered a lot of aspects of significant risk, prioritizing them even in my webinars as well. I think that might be benefiting you alongside the tip number 6 if you watch them. I wish you all success in your upcoming exams. Your tutor Kashif Kamran signing off from the tip number 6.